ride on the beat, ayy, serve it to the streets, ayy, ride on the beat, ayy, serve it to the streets, ayy, ride on the beat, ayy, serve it to the streets, ayy, ride on the beat, ayy, serve it to the streets, ayy, ride on the beat, ayy, serve it to the streets, ayy, ride on the beat, ayy, serve it to the streets, ayy.
Hey friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. So I have this yummy, goopy, sticky little caramel apple that I should have put in the refrigerator or freezer. However, I did not. But I figured I'd take a couple of bites out of it. And I said, let me just show this little sugary, gooey mess to my nibblers. It looks so unappealing. However, she's gonna eat it. I don't know why I didn't put it up. Here goes nothing. How are you guys? I hope you are well. I pray you are relaxed. I'm out here sitting on my deck. You're gonna hear some traffic like this. And like that. But hopefully you can still hear some crunching of this apple. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, that is so good. My daughter, she got this for me from the Amish market in Maryland. And it's been sitting on my counter for like 4 days. And I was just like, you know what? I'm craving something sweet. Oh, I got something sweet. Mmm. One bite. The caramel is so delicious. Mmm. I mess with my daughter. I tease her. I say, caramel? Do you want some caramel? She said, Mommy, it's caramel. Caramel, caramel, tomato, tomato. Who gives a, right? Mmm. Hello, birds. Our apple is juicy. Mmm. It's coming off the stick. I was like, I'm just gonna have a couple bites. A little glass of wine over here. Some white wine. And I'm just minding my business. I actually called, it's a candy shop near me, and I actually called them and asked them if they had any candy apples. You know, the red crunchy candy apples. And they were like, no, we don't have any today, but we'll have some late October. I was like, okay. Push. I love these, but the red ones are my favorite. So I read something online that said, I think California officially said no trick-or-treating. Wow. I guess that's where we are with it. Maybe no one will trick-or-treat this year. I'm not a big holiday person necessarily, but I mean, it's cute for the kids, you know, if you know, they don't have any religious reasons to hinder them from, you know, going. My grandbaby will not be trick-or-treating. The Amish market has some bomb food. Take another bite. There's that big chunk of caramel, so I won't eat it. Okay, I'm gonna have one more bite. I don't know. Baby. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm gonna take that clump of caramel off and get that apple. I'm done. I'm done. I'm really so good. I can't really. My face has been breaking out lately. I don't know what's going on. I haven't been using my Sunday Rally skincare every night, but I did get some black soap, which the black soap is really good. It has these little I guess oats and whatever it's made with, but they melt down in the soap and they act like exfoliation, like beads. So I think I'm gonna use some black soap on my face to see if it'll clear up. I don't know why I'm getting these breakouts. Well, I know why. It's probably anxiety. Because there are so many strange things that have been happening lately, and I'm just like, are we moving into an age where we are going to like be seeing extraterrestrial things, or is the spirit world and the physical world like colliding more? I mean, I don't know. So one thing that happened, I mean, it could just be me, I could just be tripping, but so I moved from DC. I lived in DC for a few years before I moved to Virginia, where I live now. So in the living room of the townhouse that I rented in DC, there were these mirrors, like if you would think of like the whole wall was covered with two panels, you know, on either side of the wall of mirrors. And so if you think about like a dance studio, I guess that's what it looked like, you know, in the living room. One of the walls was, you know, mirrored. And of course you'd have to stand on a ladder of some sort or a big chair to get to the top of the mirrors. Okay, so we were cleaning in the house, and you know, my daughter, she was like, Mom, did you cleaned the mirrors yesterday, and I'm like, I clean them, like every other day or whatever. Why? And she says, well, because you left a handprint on the top of the glass in the living room, and it looks, it looks kind of spooky. She was like, there's just like one handprint, like you were holding on to the mirror, and then I don't know where your other hand went, like maybe you was holding on to the mirror in the wall, like top far left corner, right, of the between the ceiling and where the wall meet. I go down and I look, and there's this neatly placed, like palm, 5 fingers handprint. It looks like a medium-sized handprint, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what is this? Like that's the wind that blew my water bottle off the table, whatever. So I'm like, okay, there's a handprint. I don't know where it came from. I didn't jump up there. When I clean below that portion, so I never really reach. You can always pretty much tell when somebody wiped the mirrors down, because there's like if you don't have a good glass cleaner, it's going to leave like a streak of where you wiped the mirror, of where you wiped to the point that you could no longer reach. There might be like a wipe mark, a streak or whatever. I try to use Windex. If I don't have it, I use the cheap stuff. I don't care. But anyway, so I see the handprint. I'm like, oh wow, I don't know what that is. So I stand up on something, I wipe it off, and I'm like, maybe my son saw something up there, decided to clean it. I don't know, maybe that's what happened. So I go about my day, whatever. But then I'm in my bedroom, and I see 2 handprints that are on the headboard, on my headboard, but like one of them was on the headboard, and then one was on the wall right above the other one on the headboard. So, the position that they were in, and these were smaller, and the position that they were in, it just seemed strange, because it was like, why would anybody stand in that position to be, you almost would have had to have stood sideways to put the handprints the way that they were. I'm like, what is this? Like, it just creeped me out a little bit, because I'm like, okay, I can chalk one up, say, okay, the one downstairs, my son, maybe he came over, saw something, got up there, haphazardly, and left a handprint on the mirror. Now this one, okay, maybe the kids was in my room. Now I didn't have any kids at the time, but the hands still have been that small. But I'm like, maybe I couldn't figure it out. I was like, the kids probably did, whatever. So then I'm driving, and so we're like going to the store or something or whatever, and so my daughter, the one who had told me about the original handprint in the living room, she says, Mommy, she was like, I don't want you to get scared, but there are handprints on your back window. And I look, and sure enough, there's handprints on the back window. And I'm like, what the I'm like, okay. I'm like, I have loved ones who have gone on the other side, like maybe they're saying hello. I don't know. And then I Googled it, and I was like, what does this mean? I found a couple of articles, actually, that people had experienced the same thing. I'm gonna chew some gum now. My nerves when I start talking about it. So anyway, yeah, so I found a few articles where other people had experienced the same thing. I'm chewing some Big Red. And but I didn't find any real science behind it. Only similar stories, and where people said that they felt it was something maybe extraterrestrial or from the spirit realm. I do believe that both exist. I don't know if we're moving into an age where those things will become more prevalent and more in plain sight. I don't know. But it did creep me out. I feel like if you give those things energy, then they will continue to communicate, right? However, if you kind of don't, then either you will miss the communication that still continues to happen, or it will stop happening. So I really don't know, but it kind of freaks me out. So I have been in Virginia for about almost 9 years now. And the other day, my daughter was like the same one who found the initial print when we lived in DC. She actually told me that she saw a handprint in her room. And I was like, are you sure? Because you remember when we saw those prints in DC? She was like, yeah, that's why I'm telling you. And she said it was on her mirror. So, I don't know. I try to keep my hands clean, as clean as possible. But she's no angel. And so I would think that if someone from the other side was communicating, that it would not be a bad communication, that it wouldn't be somebody that was trying to do harm to me, that it would be a good spirit and positive communication. I don't know. I just say, God, please protect me and my family. But so yeah, I thought I would just share that with you. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced the same thing, same sort of thing. If you have, leave me a comment. I know my girl Alistrology, I hope I'm saying that right, may have something to say. She seems very spiritually and cosmically in tuned. So, hi Alice. If you see this. And a big shout out to my CPG squad. So yeah, I don't know, a little spooky, but what am I gonna do? So that was one thing that happened. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to tell you this other thing. So I'm in my house and I have some kiwis on the counter. I keep fresh fruit on the counter. So obviously, if the fruit goes bad or something, you'll see a couple of little fruit flies or something like that. So I start to see some gnats or fruit flies, whatever, gnats. Well, we call them gnats, right? Fruit flies, gnats, same thing. I start to see some little gnats, and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta throw the kiwis away. The kiwis must be bad. I check the kiwis, a couple of them were a little soft. I throw all of them away because I can't stand flies and stuff. As I'm swatting, and you keep seeing me swatting this one that keeps circling around me. And so I throw away the kiwis, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, the gnats are gone. So throw the food away, take the trash out. I'm thinking, okay, the gnats are gone. So I'm just like sitting on the couch watching television, and a couple of little gnats like fly around, and I'm like, what is the deal? Where are these gnats coming from? I'm like, maybe I'm missing like something in the because I keep onions and like other produce that can stay outside of the refrigerator. I keep it in a cabinet and like in a drawer outside of the refrigerator. And so I said, oh, let me see if I have any potatoes that maybe have spoiled or something. I go in there, I don't really see anything, a couple onions, but they're still fresh. And I'm like, okay. So the gnats go away. So then my daughter, she gets in her car and she's about to go somewhere, and she says there was a couple of like gnats in her car. So I said, okay, well, did you leave some food in there? Like, what's going on? Was it some? She's like, I don't know. It's just weird. She said, because when I walked into my car, it was a couple on the outside of the car. So I get in, and then it was a couple on the inside, and I'm like, what the hell? So, you know, she said, just roll the window down and kind of like, you know, shoot them away, whatever. So that was yesterday. So then today, I get in my car to go grab some coffee, and there's a fly in the car. I roll the windows down. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe he'll fly out, whatever. And I'm just like, this is so weird. So there's this little fly, and it's like, it keeps going close to my ear and like making this little noise, like almost like a singing noise. I'm like, I know flies buzz, but this is like a little screeching, singing, like little noise. And I'm like, this is so weird. Of course, I'm doing all this, shooing it away, whatever. That was in the car, you know, like earlier. So now I'm sitting out here on the deck and I'm swatting, because here's this fly. It's just like one singular fly. That could just be because I'm outside. I got some sweet caramel or caramel right here beside me. IDK. But weird, right? So I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm just like freaking out because it's like, I don't know, like the world is in such a state of just like uncertainty and you know, even, I kid you not, even like it's almost like the earth is going through something, because even like the produce in the store is different. It's not as like I've gotten a dozen watermelons like since this pandemic and stuff, and it's almost like every time I cut into one of them, you either have to eat it all that day, that moment. Really, it's like on the verge of rotting. You know, it looks fine from the outside, but the inside, the meat of the produce, is something going on. You know, the onions, like they'll be okay on the outside, but on the inside, some of the layers will be like discolored, or, you know, I don't know if I just have a hyper awareness about everything now because we are in a pandemic, but it just seems like the earth is going through something, you know, and us therein. So I don't know. I'm just a silly chubby girl. What do I know? But anyway, guys, thanks for sitting with me. I'm winding it down, trying to relax, and I'm gonna finish my wine and do some writing. I love you for watching. If you have some stories you want to share with me of some spooky things going on, you know what to do. Leave it down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace and blessings to you. Stay safe. Bye.
Ride on the beat, serve it to the streets, ayy. Ride on the beat, serve it to the streets.